Arcade Memories is here, it's back, and today I'm going to be looking at a game that's legendary. It's brilliant, it's fantastic, it's amazing. To be honest, does it need much of an introduction? Yes, I'm going to be taking a look at the arcade version of Street Fighter II The World Warrior, so I'm just going to put some credits in. This game is coming courtesy of the Mr. FPGA that you would have heard me and Mike talk about a number of times. At some point we'll do a video giving you some more information about the Mr. FPGA and going through it a bit more. But here we go. Here are your selection of fighters, the 8 original characters. So, I always go as Ryu or Ryu, however you want to say it. Forgive me if I've said that wrong. And here we go. If memory serves, I was about to say if memory serves, we'll be fighting Dhalsim. I mean, what can I say about this game? I love the characters. I love the moveset. I love the sounds. I love the music. It's just, everything about this game. Just trying to do some special moves here with Ryu, a Hadouken and an uppercut. Of course, Dhalsim, he does his Yoga Fire and Yoga Flame. So this game was ported across to some home consoles, I was about to say. Of course the consoles are at home. And home computer systems with varying degrees of awfulness, it's got to be said. I remember seeing the Commodore 64 version of Street Fighter II and also the MS-DOS version, and they were incredibly bad, especially the DOS version that was really ropey. But anyway, we're still here fighting Dhalsim. I actually played a proper sit-down arcade machine of Street Fighter II. This is going all the way back to the sort of mid-90s. There was a Friday night club that I used to go to almost every Friday, our local sports centre, believe it or not. And in their sort of canteen/refreshment area, they had a Street Fighter II arcade machine. And this was the first time, by the way, that I'd seen Street Fighter II. And I just was thinking, what's this? I was attracted by the sounds, I was attracted by how great the graphics looked at the time. And it was a proper arcade machine. So, a stick and buttons as you get on a real arcade machine. I played it and I absolutely loved it. I sucked majorly because it was the first time I played it and I was getting used to using an arcade stick. But I loved it. I absolutely loved it. The music, the sound effects, the characters, the stages, the moves. I love the moveset. I think I said that at the start. I love the moveset. There's some really cool moves. If I was to be critical of Street Fighter II, especially the first version, if you like, which I think this one is, the moves are a bit unbalanced. So, for example, I'm glad we've got Chun-Li here, because I was going to use her as my example. So, Ryu and Ken, and also Guile, have got projectile moves. So, the Hadouken is a projectile move, for example. Guile, of course, has got his Sonic Boom. Chun-Li doesn't have a projectile move in this version of Street Fighter II, but she does on some of the later releases that we got on arcade and on home consoles. So, they balance things up a little bit. There was also another version of Street Fighter II later on where we got some additional characters, if memory serves me correctly. We got the likes of Cammy and DJ being a couple of examples, and I thought they were pretty cool characters, to be honest. I quite like those additions to the series. But the thing is, and this is something me and Mike have always talked about and joked about, it was like there was a version of Street Fighter II released almost every other day, almost every other week, almost every other year. There were so many different versions of Street Fighter II that came out. My personal favourite has to be Street Fighter II Turbo on the Super Nintendo. I absolutely love that game. And just to go back to the arcade version, my cousin, who's one of my cousins in fact, who's older than me, he had a Super Nintendo. He had Street Fighter II. He was at the Friday Club and he said to me, I hope you're not wasting money on that Street Fighter II machine because I've got the game on Super Nintendo. And of course I was like, yeah, I'm playing it, I love it, it's brilliant. And he said to me, stop it, because you're wasting your money, you can just come and play it around my house. So I sucked as Ryu, so now I'm playing as Eddie Honda, or E Honda. I don't know if his real name, if his first name's Eddie. I got that from Games Master, the games television show that we had here in the UK in the 90s on Channel 4. Dominic Diamond always called him Eddie Honda. And I'm not doing too well here. There's the whirlwind kick from Chun-Li, and she's got me. She's got me. I love the background on this stage. I think it looks awesome. Especially with the cyclist that rides across the back. There you go. Look at that. Look at the look on the cyclist's face. And of course the what I assume are chickens in the background there. I love that. Chun-Li's going to be... I'm going to fail and just get beat by Chun-Li, aren't I? That's what's going to happen here. Okay, I'm just going to do what I used to do as a kid and just spam the 100 hand slaps move from Eddie Honda. I love how the background speeds up when you're holding down the buttons as well. Love it. So, I remember this game getting released on the 3DO, and I remember being told that the 3DO version was the closest version to the arcade. So it gave you the closest experience to the arcade gameplay and sound and everything else. There's so many different versions of Street Fighter 2, though. I can remember seeing Special Championship Edition on the Mega Drive, which is what we got for the Mega Drive here in Europe. There's also Super Street Fighter 2, which I quite like, and I own a physical copy of that on the Genesis / Mega Drive, depending on where you are in the world. So, I'll have one more character, because we're going to continue. And let's go for... Yeah, let's go for Blanka, because he's a cool character. He always used to make me laugh, especially with one of his moves, which you know which one it's going to be. Let's see if I can do it. That one. Where he yeah, look at that, where he electrocutes his opponent. I love that. And now we've got several cyclists that are looking, going, what is this creature / character doing? Look at that. Look how happy they are. As they watch Chun-Li get Kentucky fried by the electric. This is absolutely awesome, guys. If you've got a way of playing Street Fighter 2, as long as it's not the awful MS-DOS or Commodore 64 version, got a SNES lying around, a Mega Drive, or you've got access to emulation. This is hardware emulation with the Mister. You've got to play this game. If you somehow haven't, it's amazing. Every time I fancy playing a beat-em-up game, there's so many I could play. There's Tekken, there's, Mortal Kombat, which in the future I might cover. But I always find myself going back to Street Fighter 2 in one way or another, whether it be the SNES version or the arcade version, which to me, the arcade version, and understandably so, is more difficult than the SNES version. The SNES version, I can get to the boss characters. Your Saggats, your M. Bisons, your Balrogs, and your Vegas. In fact, I can remember, and we always say it here on this channel, on the Chorizo Machine channel, a kid or a friend who lived down the road from me who had a SNES and had Street Fighter 2, he got all the way to Vega but could not get past Vega. And I had a go and I sucked majorly and couldn't get past Vega either, and it was so frustrating. Because Vega, of course, could climb the fence and then jump down and attack you, and it was so difficult to defend against that. Here is Zangief. I managed to get past Chun-Li by spamming the electrifying move. That's brilliant. Another move that I like that Blanka can do, or Blanka, as some people like to refer to him as, is he can actually do like where he rolls up into a ball and goes flying across the screen. I'm probably not going to be able to do that now. And I've just had my my backside handed to me on a plate by Zangief. That's pretty embarrassing. But the moves are cool. I like the moves. Some of the moves make logical sense in terms of how you pull them off. Oh, how do I do that move? There we go. That was it. You just saw him do it. Holding left for a couple of seconds and then right plus the kick button. And he spins and goes flying across the screen. I used to love that move because it feels like a powerful move. And there we go. Dave has been beaten by Zangief. How embarrassing. Anyway, guys, that is a look at Street Fighter 2, the arcade version, the World Warrior. Brilliant game. You've got to play it. I will catch you again soon for another episode of Arcade Memories. 5, 4,